Hello and welcome to the Rhystic Buddies MTG. This time we are doing a podcast. We have today Sean and Steppen. That's when you introduce yourself.
Hi, Step and Razor. Name's Travis. I go by Step and Razor online, but
My name is Sean. I also go by Manila Midget as my username.
And I am Christian, or Artics. I do not care what you call me. Dealer's choice. We run a YouTube channel called the Rhystic Buddies MTG, but we are also going to do podcast, and we're going to do that today, and hopefully more than today. So yeah, this is just kind of a pilot episode. We just wanted to get ourselves out there, so we're just going to do some introductions today. Steppen, who are you? How'd you get into Magic?
I got into Magic a long time ago, back before both of you were born in 1994, 95. I started playing. There wasn't even a format. I think it was just, there was one format back then. And a Star Wars game came out at the same time, like a TCG, and I started playing that instead. Traded all my Magic cards for Star Wars cards, then found out that game was basically unplayable. And then I got away from TCG games for like 25 years. And 2018, a friend of mine got me into Commander, and I've pretty much been playing solid through since 2018. I started off playing casual, like probably most people do. Then I started playing what I thought was cEDH. I definitely thought I was just like a competitive player, and then I started playing online, and I realized I wasn't, and I had a lot to learn. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple years now, and now I'm doing tournaments. You know, I try to do one or two a month, and been doing okay in those, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. How about you, Sean?
I got first introduced to Magic through my younger brother. Back in, I think, 2019, when War of the Spark came. He wanted someone to pick up a second pre-release kit for him, so he gave me a call. He said, can you come down to the shop and get a kit for me? You don't even have to play or anything. Just buy it, since they won't let me buy too. I said, cool, I'll join you for the day. Why not? I absolutely loved it. I found some really cool friends, and I played casually for about 2 years until one of my buddies, we might know him also, Godzilla Big, also known as Chris, really one of my coolest friends I could have ever met. He introduced me to competitive, and I fell headfirst into it. I started out with hard stacks and Urza, and I just developed a love until I found what literally the spiral I fell into by the name of Dargo. I absolutely fell headfirst into Magic, and it was awesome, and it still is.
Sean is one of the premier Dargo Thrasios pilots, if you did not know. I taught him everything he knows. I'm very proud of him. And
He's a tournament-winning Dargo Thrasios player.
Spoilers! We'll get to that later. And I'm Artix. I got into Magic back in between the sets changing from Shadows over Innistrad into Aether Revolt, and then Amonkhet forward. I started by going into my LGS with a buddy of mine in high school 8 years ago. And my buddy said, hey, I'm teaching him how to play. I need 60 cards. And the shop owner just grabbed 60 cards and threw them in a deck. And then we went and sat at Bojangles for 4 hours and played Magic. And ever since then, I've just absolutely loved Magic. I love all capacities of Magic, drafts, sealed, standard, every format I can enjoy in Magic. And it's just been a passion of mine, and now I get to do a passion project with my friends. And we are very excited for that. And next up, we're gonna talk about what kind of decks and archetypes we enjoy. So take it away, Steppen.
Yeah, so since I've been playing cEDH, I've been really just like aggressively a mid-range player. I think brewing mid-range is funner. There's a lot more, I think, possibilities, things you can do. Less decisions you have to make on speed and efficiency and all that, and you can kind of just have more fun with it. You know, I know that's not always correct, but yeah, I like playing Thrasios decks. I'm not currently playing any right now. I've been playing Shalai and Halar mostly this year. I've done quite a few tournaments with that deck. I've had some good runs, some bad runs, but I really like green decks. I know it's the worst color. I don't need to. There's no need for a debate. I just still love playing it though.
The numbers say otherwise, man.
That's true. Good point. I started off playing Elf Ball, and my first commander deck with Azuri. Still love that deck. I still have it sleeved. I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, mostly just been playing a bunch of Thrasios decks and Shalai and Alar. Started playing a little bit of Turbo lately, just trying to familiarize myself with it, and it's pretty cool. But I'm not up to where I need to be to bring it to a tournament yet. So I'm still just kind of mid-range mania.
All right, what about you, Sean?
So, I decided to start with stacks, like I said, with Urza, and I was on stacks and a lot of fun. However, it got very boring to me to kind of sit there and do nothing for a while. So then I started to venture a little bit more. I got into Kenrith, which was what I feel like was mid-range. I did the mid-range list. And I just went deeper into a lot of decks, and I found mid-range was something I really enjoyed, where, you know, you do have the ability to pop off at any point, but also, you know, you can set the pace of your own game, whether you play some light stacks or by just advancing your board. So I found mid-range is my type of style, but lately I've been trying more turbo because I do believe it's more turbo meta, and I think I like trying new things, and, you know, turbo is really cool. I've very much enjoyed Grixis, even though I don't play Premier Turbo, but I've been enjoying turbo, but I'm absolutely a mid-range player at heart, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
What we're trying to do is speed that mid-range up, right?
Yeah, I think it has to.
That's
There's
what
no
I'm
other
trying
choice.
to do. You can have fast mid-range decks, you know.
We like mid-range decks that can win on turn 2.
Yeah, well, some people wouldn't say mid-range. They call them tempo decks when they're trying to keep up with the rest of the decks, but also just they want to be into the later part of the game and not, you know, turn 2 or 3.
And that's why we play Thrasios.
Absolutely.
And for me, you know, three for 3. I am also a mid-range player. A little bit different though. I enjoy Sultai. Sultai and Esper are my 2 favorite color combinations in Magic. Funnily enough, I don't play either of them because I don't feel like there are any competitive commanders in those colors that I enjoy playing. Obviously, you have like Tivit and Malcolm Timna. They're just not decks that I like to pilot. They're a little just too slow for me. I enjoy the faster turbo, or the faster form of mid-range. I like to be able to grind a little bit better, have more card draw in the command zone and stuff like that. And yeah, lately I've been playing a lot of turbo, but I actually heavily disagree with Sean. I think turbo is positioned poorly right now. I think the name of the game is who can get the most card advantage engines in play the fastest. And I think because of that, people are much less lenient on turbo. I think people have gotten to the point in cEDH where they recognize that turbo, if you don't hold interaction, will just win. And there's nothing you can do about it. So they will either mulligan for that turn 1 Mystic Remora, or they will do nothing and sit there and hold interaction for you. So personally, I feel like turbo is actually at a disadvantage currently in the meta. But there are still people still putting up results with it, so it's... Maybe I just suck at turbo? There's a good chance.
I accept wrong opinions too, it's fine.
That's exactly right, and that's what we're here for. So now we're going to talk about tournament results and the channel a little bit. We are all heavy tournament grinders. It's what we enjoy. It's our favorite way to play Magic. So because of that, we play in as many tournaments as we can, and, you know, whether it be through skill or just numbers, you know, statistics, we have all topped several tournaments. It is everything that our channel is based around. We enjoy featuring tournament grinders, you know, people that top events regularly. We like to get their perspective and see them play. It's who we practice with. So we're just gonna talk about some of our tournament results and how we've done. Take it away, Steph.
Yeah, 2022. I got in. My first online tournament was MOX Masters January, so I got 2020 or 2023. I mean, started off with my online tournament career. I played tons of Chaos and MOX Masters events this year. I was able to top 16 a few, or 4 of them. I topped one in March with Jessica Thrasios. That was around the time I was getting to be friends with Sean here, and he talked me into going Dargo Thrasios, and I topped an event with that. And then that's right when Shalai and Halar came out, and I kind of just made that deck my identity for the second half of 2023. I top 16'd a couple tournaments with that, MOX Masters and Chaos, and just yesterday, me and Sean competed in Path to the Peak 2, a tournament put on by Accepted, pretty well-known member of the community. And I was able to take first in Swiss on that, and then lost in the finals to Samurai Dancer, somebody who I've played against in tournaments before on Malcolm Kedis. But I was right there. I had a win on my turn. It just never got there. So super close. That would have been my first big tournament win, not counting locals. So yeah, that's just kind of been my 2023, just getting better. And I go back and watch my tournament games from January, and it's like embarrassing. I hope nobody ever goes back and watches those games, but I feel a lot better where I'm at now. And I went back to Shalai and Halar yesterday in that tournament, and I was super excited that I was able to. Basically, I've been rebuilding the deck over the last couple months, not playing it, just like tuning it. And I started playing it about a week ago again. I was like, this seems like it's actually pretty well positioned. You know, if I could just get down protection and go for these creature combos, like counter spells just don't do anything when I'm playing that way. And I spent the last 2 months getting every single win con I tried to resolve countered, and I like just making it to where they can't cast counter spells at this point. That's been my my defense mechanism. So yeah, so up until yesterday, that's my history of my online tournament career. Oh, and one more thing. All of us did get to go to the MOX Masters Invitational and compete in that. You know, I'm way up here in Alaska, so it's hard for me to get down there to do a lot of the big events, but I am going to try to make more, but it's a big commitment to go to a tournament, but I was glad to meet, everybody down in Ohio this past October, so.
And just consistently putting up results. You're up, Sean. Let's hear it. Brag about yourself.
Right. Brag about myself. So, after trying numerous decks, I actually had to get talked into. So I signed up for my first online event, MOX Masters, December 2022. My buddy, as I mentioned, Godzilla Big, my big cEDH buddy from locals here. The night before, I signed up and I got in through their system, which, I finally got availability. Can you tell me when you get it? So the night before, they sent me an email saying, oh yeah, we found a spot, like somebody dropped, you can get in. Oh, cool, sick. So I messaged him late at night and I'm like, dude, what should I play? Should I play Kenrith? And he's like, nah, dude, play Dargo Thrasios. That deck's really funny. Like, okay, let's do it. So I ended up choosing to play that deck and submitted it, and I won December MOX Masters 2022. That immediately threw the deck up into a spiral of, wow, actually this deck has a lot of potential. And it led to a lot of improvements on the deck and a lot of future endeavors with that. And I've run Dargo Thrasios at just about every single tournament within the next year, with give or take a few different decks I've tried, but I haven't found anything more that I enjoy. I've played, I think roughly, I counted it up yesterday, 16 online events, I believe. Within the last year, I've topped like 4 or 5 of them. I'm not mistaken. Big 40%, I think, roughly, rounded up. Win percentage, not to brag. Wait, that's what I'm supposed to do, right?
No, go on.
So yeah, I think recently my favorite accomplishment has to be the Invitational. I found that the competition was awesome. Even the people who lost out, they were really tough to get out, right? You're talking about, Steppen, Scotty Baker, Dan Brown, a lot of the people in our community that are tournament grinders and really good. I play against a lot of them consistently, and it was just a really tough competition, and I really enjoyed the fact that I was able to prevail. Not all the way, but very proud of that. Personally, that's one of my favorite accomplishments recently.
Top cut is still really impressive at the Invitational.
Yeah, it was crazy hard, and you guys were both right there on the cusp too.
No, numbers wise, they weren't big tournaments as far as how many people, but the competition there, and even like these Path to the Peak tournaments, I'm just seeing like every pot I was in yesterday was like multiple tournament winners and just top notch players. Like sometimes it's just the quality over quantity is a big part of these tournaments, and that's what I've been finding recently.
Yeah, the roster at Path to the Peak was just insane.
Yeah, I think the last two I found just like that. Let's see. I had this discussion with Wounded Satellite. The round 2 of I believe the Chaos event. Oh my goodness, the losers bracket was absolutely stacked. Absolutely, I had to play against Max, TTC, who is known for Rionia, and also Yan, who's on Rog side. Really good game, really stacked for a losers bracket game, and it just shows that we're getting more competitive even more as a community, and these events are really good.
Yeah, it's impressive, and it's also really exciting to see how far cEDH has progressed as a whole. I remember back when I was playing Standard competitively, thinking about RCQs and back then, the SCG tour, the Pro Tour, when we still had real in-paper Pro Tours every single year, that's what I aspired to. That's what I wanted to get into. That's what I wanted to play. And then when I picked up my very first Commander deck, it was the Mizzix of the Is Magnus pre-con deck. And then we just sat around at Bojangles. We've played a lot of Magic at Bojangles. We sat around at Bojangles every day after high school for 4 or 5 hours a day, just jamming pre-cons against each other. And to go from that to the point where we have things like Top Deck 8K in Atlanta, the 10K Ohio Invitational, I think it's the 10K, the Boyle in January, that's back in Atlanta. Just massive tournaments. I mean, you see these cEDH tournaments that are just kind of blowing, actual, standard format tournaments and stuff out of the water. It's just very exciting to see that, and I'm hoping that with enough time, Wizards will finally recognize our format as a legitimate format, because I think that is what will be the tipping point that officially pushes cEDH into the spotlight. Like, that is officially the competitive format for Magic. So it's just inspiring to see. But regarding my tournament results and stuff, I actually met both Sean and Steppen through MOX Masters. They've had much better results in the MOX Masters series than I have. I've only top 16 won, and it was the MOX Masters December of 2022 that Sean won. I was playing Tivit. I had literally never played the deck before. That was round 1 of MOX Masters December, was my very first game playing Tivit. And I managed to make top 16. There's kind of a funky story behind it, but that's neither here nor there. Shut your mouth. Look, my name is in the 16th spot, and that's all that matters. Outside of that, I don't have a great record for online tournaments. I just cannot seem to do well in online tournaments. But locally, in person, I have top 4'd a Lion's Eye Diamond tournament, I have top 16'd an Underground Sea tournament, and I have top 4'd a Mox Diamond tournament. And both of my top 4s I lost on turn 2, which is just something I'm getting really tired of having happen. So I have much better experience in person. I do have my results, just not my online results. I cannot win to save my life online. You guys are just much better at that than I am. And I don't know, I'm very thankful for those online tournaments, because I wouldn't be making these videos and this podcast with you guys if I had not been playing in them. Sadly, I don't get to play in as many online events as I'd like to, because I work Saturdays. I get off at 9:45 a.m. and most tournaments start at 10 a.m. and there's just, unless something miraculous happens, I just can't make the tournament, so I don't get to play as often as I'd like to. But yeah, that's pretty much who we are, and that is, that's our
side
credits.
note. MOX Masters January, which was my first online tournament, round 1, we were in a pod together, Christian, and that's the first time I ever communicated with you. And then I think right after that, I know we stayed in touch for one reason or the other right after that, and then you were doing some streaming on a different channel of yours, right, with Sean, and then you invited me in, and that's when I met Sean. This is all like mid-January, so yeah, that was the first. I have that game recorded too, of us three, and I can't remember who else was in it, but
yeah, if I remember correctly, you blow my ass out of the water
in the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was 1-0 to start my career.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that I remember that being a really good game, and I just remember thinking like, man, this is like a cool guy. And then we just now here we are, you know, a year later, and we're doing videos together and shit, which is pretty damn cool.
I remember how it ended. Your Notion Thief won the game for me.
God, fuck, that is how it happened.
I had an Esper Sentinel out, and I went for a Thoracle Consult, and of course somebody could have caused me to draw a card with my Esper Sentinel, but Christian had a Notion Thief out, so he took care of that for me.
With no way to kill it. Oh god, it felt so bad. I want you to know, after that, I cut Notion Thief. I've never put it back in a deck again. Literally ever.
I'm glad I showed you the light on Notion Thief.
I think I took that card out of my cEDH binder, just because I don't want it anywhere near me.
I still think it's awesome. I don't play it in any deck I'm currently playing, but I still think it's like crazy the way that card reads.
So I mean, I have one last thing I really want to cover before we just kind of have a free space to talk, and that's just about our actual YouTube channel itself. One, I want to say thank you to the viewers. I mean, the last video we posted broke 1,000 views in 24 hours and is currently sitting at 4,500 views, which is absolutely insane because we only have 10 videos up. So to see that amount of support on a video that we posted, we went from 120 subscribers to 220 subscribers from one video. And it's just kind of mind-boggling to think about that realistically. So thanks to you guys, the viewers.
Yep,
pretty damn cool. And then I wanted to talk about friends of the channel and our goal with the channel itself. What we do on the Rhystic Buddies is every week we try to feature a prominent member of the cEDH community. You know, we've had Wounded Satellite, we've had Freedom Waffle, Surge, TK from Playing with Power. We've been very fortunate to know on a personal level a lot of these well-known cEDH grinders, and it's been very nice to be able to get them on the channel and show you guys who may not know these people, may not be able to play with them in tournaments like we do on a regular basis, you know, just kind of who they are and, you know, like what they're playing and stuff like that. And I think we've just been very fortunate with the position we were in to start making videos. And I think that's pretty damn cool. Yeah,
I always kind of wanted to showcase players, not decks or cards, you know, and it's been fun. And everyone's been cool too. Anybody we've asked, they've all been like, yeah, let's do it. Nobody's been like, no, you know, get a little bit more subscribers. Not true. Maybe.
That's not true.
Somebody did decline you?
Yeah, I added Matthew Lillard on Twitter to see if he wanted to play cEDH with us, but he did not respond to me. So, first person to turn this down.
That's not a no.
Yeah, you're right. He just, you know, he's getting with his reps. That's all it is. So yeah, is there anything you guys like to say before we kind of close it out here? Since this is, you know, this is just a pilot.
By the way, I'm looking to always play new decks on the channel. I love to just try and feature new decks. If anybody has any suggestions, make sure to leave it for me. I will gladly print out my bad proxies to play your deck.
What about you, Steppen? You got anything you want to say, buddy?
No, like you've already covered. Thanking everybody for, you know, the subscriptions and views and all that, and yeah, we're gonna just keep trying to get more tournament grinders in here, play some games with them, and, you know, just keep it up.
All right, well, cool. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there then. I appreciate you guys taking the time to, you know, do this with me. The goal is to try and do one every 2 weeks, have a podcast 1 week and an episode 1 week of the video, just because of the current schedule with work and stuff like that. I'd like to do more than that in the future, but right now I'm doing what I can. So look forward to more of these. We're gonna, cover a lot of topics around the cEDH just kind of world, I guess is the best way to go about it. So yeah, see you in the next one.